Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Token Trends Weekly podcast. Great to have you with us.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, good to be here. This week, we're diving into something absolutely central to crypto wallets.
Exactly. We've got this great report looking at how wallets are shaping up for, well, basically now 2025. They really are the workhorses, aren't they?
Oh, totally. They're your gateway to almost everything on chain. Trading, DeFi, NFTs, you name it, you need a wallet.
And it's not just one simple thing anymore. The ecosystem's huge.
Right. You've got custodial, non-custodial, the old EOAs versus these newer smart accounts, hardware, software, and everything's getting so modular.
So that's what we're tackling today. We'll break down what they are, how they work, look at what people are actually doing with them now.
And then peek into the future a bit, maybe touch on some risks too.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Okay, part one. The basics. When we say wallet, what are the key types we need to get our heads around?
Good question. First off, wallet isn't just one thing. They all manage your private keys, right? That's the core function. But how they do it and who's in control, that's where the differences lie.
Okay, so control is key. Like hardware versus software. What's the deal there for users?
Yeah. Hardware wallets, think Ledger, Trezor. They keep your keys offline. Super secure, less risk of online hacks.
But maybe a bit more fiddly to use.
Exactly. You need the device handy for transactions. Software wallets like MetaMask are, apps or browser extensions. Much more convenient for daily use.
But inherently riskier because they're online more.
Generally, yeah. It's that classic security versus convenience trade-off.
Got it. Then there's custodial versus non-custodial. This feels more fundamental. About ownership.
Absolutely. Custodial means someone else holds the keys for you. Think of your exchange account like on Binance or Coinbase. Easy to get started.
But you're trusting them. Not your keys, not your coins, as they say.
Precisely. Non-custodial puts you in charge. You hold the keys, you have the control. MetaMask is a classic example. But the responsibility for keeping those keys safe, that's all on you.
An exchange is often off for both now, right? You might have a trading balance that's custodial and a separate non-custodial wallet.
Yeah, that's becoming pretty common. Gives users options.
Okay, clear. Now, the report really digs into EOAs versus smart contract wallets or smart accounts. What's the big leap with smart accounts?
Right. This is where things get really interesting. EOAs, externally owned accounts. That's your traditional crypto account. One private key controls it. Simple, but limited.
Limited how?
Well, smart accounts aren't just controlled by a key. They're controlled by code, by smart contracts living on the blockchain itself. That programmability opens up a ton of possibilities.
Possibilities like better account recovery, not just relying on that seed phrase you really hope you didn't lose.
Exactly. Things like social recovery become feasible, getting help from trusted friends or devices. Multi-sig is another big one, needing multiple approvals.
Oh, like for a company treasury or something.
Yeah, or even just extra security for individuals. Plus, you can enable things like gasless transactions where someone else pays the fee or bundle actions together. Very cool stuff for user experience.
And they can be upgraded over time.
Potentially, yeah. Adds flexibility.
The report mentions ERC 4337. Sounds technical, but seems important. What is it, basically?
It is important. ERC 4337 is the Ethereum standard for what's called account abstraction. Think of it as a way to get smart account benefits without changing Ethereum's base layer. It's clever.
How does it work, in simple terms?
It uses things called user operations, basically, your transaction intent. These get picked up by bundlers.
Bundlers, like batching things up.
Kind of, yeah. They bundle multiple user ops into one standard transaction that interacts with a special entry point contract. That contract handles verification and execution.
Okay, and paymasters. They sound useful.
Oh, they're huge for usability. Paymasters are contracts that can sponsor gas fees for users. So dApps can pay for your gas or let you pay in stablecoins instead of ETH. Really smooths things out.
That tackles a major pain point for newcomers. So is everything moving to ERC 43337 then? All smart accounts?
Not necessarily. It's gaining a lot of traction, definitely. But some big players, like Safe or Argent, had their own robust smart account systems before 4337. Safe, for example, is integrating 4337, but it's not their only approach.
Interesting. Okay, that's a solid overview of the what and how. Let's shift to part two. What are we seeing in terms of actual use? The report says wallet activity is way up.
Yeah, across the board. More swaps happening inside wallets, more smart account operations. It just shows people are doing more on-chain, and wallets are central to that.
And it's spreading out geographically, too, not just the usual suspects.
Definitely. We're seeing really strong growth in places like Nigeria, India, Vietnam, Indonesia. It highlights crypto's potential for financial access globally.
And the user experience is getting smoother. Things like passkeys, gas sponsorship.
Absolutely. Passkeys for login, sponsored gas, chain abstraction, trying to make using multiple chains seamless. It's all about lowering friction.
Making Web3 less scary for the average person.
Pretty much. And that leads to wallets becoming these sort of super apps, right?
Yeah, embedding everything. Swaps, staking, finding games.
Exactly. They want to be your one-stop shop for Web3, less jumping between different apps.
And the tech behind it is getting more modular. You mentioned Privy and Reown.
Right. They're building infrastructure so other apps can easily plug in wallet features without reinventing the wheel. It speeds up innovation.
Okay, let's look at some specifics. The report analyzed embedded swaps in EOA wallets. What did that show?
Well, consistent growth since 2021 in both the number of swaps and the total value swapped inside wallets. There was a big spike earlier this year, too. People are getting comfortable trading right there.
Who are the big players there? Is MetaMask still king?
MetaMask is still huge, historically dominant, but others are catching up fast. OKX had massive growth, then paused. Binance Wallet surged recently, maybe boosted by fee campaigns. Bitget is strong, especially in Asia.
What about Coinbase Wallet?
Coinbase Wallet focuses a lot on volume, and their new smart wallet is likely feeding into that. Trust Wallet seems steady, maybe attracting larger institutional-type users. Zerion's focusing on higher value trades. Rabby's got clever DX routing. It's really fragmented now.
And which chains are popular for these in-wallet swaps? Still mostly Ethereum.
Ethereum was dominant, but BNB Chain and Polygon saw huge growth. Now, Layer 2s are really taking off Arbitrum, Optimism, and especially Base. Lots of activity shifting there.
Makes sense with the lower fees. What about Solana? Phantom's the big one there.
Oh yeah, Phantom is a Solana wallet, exploded in growth for swaps, and they're adding cross-chain stuff too. Very strong.
And Ronin Wallet. Started with Axie Infinity, right?
Yeah, purpose-built for gaming initially, but they've shown great user retention and are broadening out now. Shows the power of niche wallets, too.
Did the report find regional differences in which wallets people use?
It did. Addressable data suggests, for example, OKX and Bitget have big user bases in Asia. Coinbase, more North America, Europe focused. MetaMask is pretty global. But often, emerging markets drive user numbers, while developed markets have more capital per user.
Interesting dynamics. Okay, switching gears to the ERC 4337 smart accounts. How's adoption looking there?
Saw a big surge in deployments mid-last year. It's maybe leveled off slightly from that peak growth rate, but usage, the actual user operations, keeps climbing. And Base is now the leading chain for new deployments and activity.
So Base is really pushing smart accounts.
Seems like it. And there's healthy competition between the infrastructure providers building these accounts, Biconomy, Safe, ZeroDev, StackUp, Coinbase.
You mentioned Safe earlier. The report calls them a leader.
Definitely. Over 43 million Safe accounts deployed. It's important to distinguish Safe, the infrastructure, from Safe Wallet, the interface, though. Lots of apps build on Safe Brahma, WorldCoin, Polymarket.
And they handle serious volume.
Huge volume in TVL, especially on Ethereum historically. But like we said, activity, particularly DX trading via platforms like CowWSwap or 1inch, is increasingly shifting to L2s like Base and Arbitrum.
What about Coinbase's own smart wallet? How's that doing?
Growing steadily in active users, retention looks decent. Activity is heavily on Base, naturally. Users seem to be doing a mix of things, NFTs on Zora, DeFi on Airdrome, some bridging.
Any other up-and-coming wallets worth mentioning?
Mm-hmm.
Layer 3, Jam, Ambire.
Yeah, they represent different angles. Layer 3 embedded a smart account right into their platform, mostly on Base. Gem is mobile-first, open source, seeing good swap revenue across chains. Ambire has smart features like readable transactions, got a boost from a campaign, also seeing Base growth.
And the infrastructure side. Reown and Privy.
Reown, the Wallet Connect folks, are using Safe's architecture for their universal wallets, pushing interoperability. Privy focuses on super easy onboarding using email or social logins, embedding wallets seamlessly for apps. They're getting a lot of traction.
It really feels like that seamless integration is key. Okay, final part.
Yeah.
Looking ahead. The report mentions EIP 7702. Why is that a big deal?
Potentially huge. It's part of the next big Ethereum upgrade, Pectra. EIP 7702 lets regular EOAs temporarily act like smart accounts for a single transaction.
Whoa, so you get smart account features without fully migrating.
Exactly. It could be a massive bridge letting millions of existing EOA users access things like gas sponsorship or batching on demand. We're already seeing some early signs of teams preparing for it.
That could really accelerate the transition.
Yeah.
So, summing up, what's the big picture for wallets?
The trend is undeniable. Wallets are becoming platforms orchestrating your whole on-chain life. Modularity, seamless UX, programmability, that's the direction. They're right at the cutting edge of crypto's expansion.
Absolutely fascinating. The pace of change is just incredible. Wallets are definitely not just for holding anymore.
For sure, it's a space you really have to keep watching.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive for this week. Hope you found that useful and got a clearer picture of the wallet landscape.
Yeah.
Lots happening there.
If you want to keep up with insights like these, definitely hit subscribe on the Token Trends Weekly podcast wherever you listen. Thanks for joining us.